What is going on, everybody? Happy NFL Sunday. Happy round one of the NFL playoffs. A lot to get to today. We got a couple games left, man. I know round one is underway. Obviously, started off yesterday with my boys playing, getting eliminated. Shit happens, man. It sucks. But round one, man, things got started and things kind of caught my eye, to be honest. Things caught me by surprise, better said. I did not expect round one to start off the way that it did yesterday, starting with the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. Like I thought that Cleveland was going to be kind of a sleeper team that might have had an opportunity to sneak up in there and probably get to the Super Bowl, which is amazing because of their defense. Obviously, they got through injuries with Nick Chubb. They got through injuries with Deshaun Watson and just a lot of their offensive line. But Stefanski just continued to, just keep this team going. The defense continued to improve as the year went through. They signed Joe Flacco off the street. This dude came through, balled the hell out. I could not believe the stuff I was seeing. And I kind of started talking myself into Cleveland, man. I really did. I thought that Cleveland would have an opportunity to, let their defense and just a little bit of Joe Flacco in there to kind of work their way into potentially even get into the Super Bowl, man. Because if you think about it, I thought that the hardest opponent that Baltimore probably had to face, if they had to face somebody, was going to be the Cleveland Browns. Why? Because they're a division opponent and because Cleveland usually plays Baltimore, pretty good. Stefanski knows how Lamar Jackson plays, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and things like that. So I thought if Cleveland was able to get there, I thought that they had probably had an opportunity to probably take down Baltimore, but Baltimore, the juice ran out, man. The Flacco run is over. The Flacco run, it was entertaining to see how somebody that old and kind of just off the street taking a commercial flight for the tryout for the Browns and then, doing what he did. Shout out to Joe Flacco, man. Future Hall of Famer. A lot of people might argue that, but I mean, the dude was big time, had a hell of a career. I think that's probably it for him. And to be honest, I give respect to Joe Flacco, man, because in my opinion, he had the hardest run out of any quarterback that I've at least witnessed to go ahead and win the Super Bowl. What am I talking about? I'm talking about when he won the Super Bowl. This dude went through Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning in Denver, Tom Brady, and then prime Colin Kaepernick to win the whole Super Bowl. Like that is a tough task. So I always have respect for Joe Flacco for that. But man, Houston, man, how about CJ Stroud? Whew. I mean, I've been raving about CJ Stroud all season long, and the fact that he's just able to continue to dominate in his rookie season. Now, I want to see more of it, though. I don't want to crown him as him yet, but man, he's off to a freaking fantastic start. What a rookie season for CJ Stroud, man. What a performance. I didn't see it coming, but shout out to the Houston Texans pulling that off. I thought the Cleveland Browns were going to win that game. I had picked the Browns to win that game. I betted it. I thought it was a lock. And boy, was I wrong. Second game yesterday. Unfortunately, my boys go down, only putting up 7 fucking points. In a playoff game is absolutely ridiculous when you had 9 out of your 11 starters playing. Yes, they weren't 100%, but it doesn't matter, man. Like, not everybody's 100%. The point is who's in and who's out. If you're out there and you're playing, there's no excuse. I thought Mike McDaniel coached a very poor game. I thought his play calling was just atrocious. I was very disappointed. I think the defense, as hobbled as they were, they gave you plenty of opportunity. They held the Chiefs to 16 points in the first half, 10 points in the second half. They gave you chances, but at the same time, when you're constantly going out there and keep getting stops and your offense is not producing first downs, your defense is eventually, when you talk about bend, don't break, and that was us for the majority of the game. But at some point, when your offense isn't putting together drives and your defense, as hobbled as they are, have to keep coming back out there, you're going to break at some point, and that's exactly what happened. Inexcusable, man. This season went from such a great ride and fun, probably the most fun I've had as a Dolphin fan, to just a terrible outcome. But we're going to talk more about that during the week as Jacoby and I will be here breaking down, our Dolphin stream as usual. But let's get into the games, man. Let's get into the games today. I thought the Dolphins were going to win. I picked the Dolphins to win, and they lost. So far, I am 0 for 2. But That's what the playoffs is. Hopefully better games today, and I do expect it. Obviously one on Monday as well. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to share my predictions and then get into my best bets. Not sure if George will make it today, but if he does, he will share his picks. He's been on an absolute heater, cracking 100 wins, man. Cracking 100 wins in the season. You read the record down below, 102-74. Like, George has killed it all season long. I'm 2 away from 50. I obviously don't give as much bets as George does, but that's why he's one of the best people I know when it comes to gambling, man. But nonetheless, if you have been following our picks, I mean, look at the record down below. If you have been following since week 1, you have made yourself a pretty good amount of money, either tailing me, tailing George, tailing a mixture of both. I'm pretty sure it's been good. And we're going to continue this going forward, man. For our first season doing this, the record down below speaks for itself. It's not too bad. So let's talk about these games real quick. Let's talk about the spread. Let's talk about my picks, and then just hop into my favorite plays of the day. Hopefully George gets in here and let us know. But if not, we gonna ride this thing out, man. So the Green Bay Packers are taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are at home here. Cowboys are favored by 7 points. The Packers, man, how about the Packers? Jordan Love, it has been awesome as of late. This dude has shown some poise. He's shown some moxie. He showed that he's not afraid, and he's shown a lot of things that could kind of lean you towards taking this +7. Aaron Jones also, he's been dialing it up. Yeah, they have a little bit of momentum on their side. They're the youngest team in NFL history, or one of the youngest teams in NFL history, to make the playoffs. That's unbelievable to me. That's awesome. This is the first year about a team who's leaned on Aaron Rodgers, and they're only here because Aaron Rodgers. This team has took it upon themselves to say, you know what, F that, we're going to make it, and we're here. And their run deserves a hell of a lot of credit, because there's plenty times where I've counted this team out, and through adversity, they've just elevated their game. The quarterback has elevated their game. All right. Jordan Love has shown, with pressure on his back, to deliver. Those are things you want to see from a young quarterback. So shout out to Jordan Love, and shout out to the Packers to getting into the stage. And there's a little nobody believes in us here. Like, they have nothing to lose. The Cowboys got the pressure on them. The pressure's on Dallas. They're at home. They have choked plenty of times in the playoffs before. And this would be so Dallas to lose this game, man. You got the storyline about Mike McCarthy going against his former team, all of that stuff. Green Bay's also 9-1 against Dallas in the last 10 games. Granted, they had Aaron Rodgers. Things are different, but are they really? I mean, Jordan Love has kind of shown you enough to say, hey, you could believe in me as well. Like, I can get the job done. He's won plenty of games where people count him out. Beating the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, beating the Chiefs on a primetime game. The Packers have answered the bell time and time again. So where do I lean with this 7, man? I don't think I wouldn't feel good laying 7 here if I'm betting this. So I'm going to pick +7 here. I'm going to pick the Packers to cover. Maybe they lose by 7. Hell, maybe they get blown out. But I just think that I can't sit here and just lay a big number like 7 points and disrespect the team that's made it to the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers, and how they've been playing. So I'm going to give them respect here. I'm going to pick Dallas to win this game, but I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers with the 7 points. Next game is the second game. Unfortunately, there's only 2 games. It was supposed to be 3, but there's only 2 games tonight. It's the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Lions. I am freaking excited for this game, man. Talk about storylines. You got Jared Goff playing against his former team, his former coach, the team that gave up on him for the player that he's playing against in Matthew Stafford. Detroit hasn't seen a playoff game at home in 30 years. That place is going to be jumping. That place is going to be rocking. And who else to welcome the first game in 30 years for this franchise in the playoffs than Matthew Stafford, their beloved Matthew Stafford that they have had throughout, the whole prime of his career, what made Matthew Stafford. We know Matthew Stafford because of his time in Detroit. This is going to be a freaking good one. I'm excited as hell for this one. This is probably the matchup that I've been looking forward to the most outside of my Dolphins game. This matchup right here, I'm excited. I think Cooper Kupp is going to have an amazing game today. I know that Nakua has had the better season. Nakua's had a hell of a season. And I know Nakua has outperformed Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford tends to look his way a lot more this season. But I just think when push comes to shove here, the lights are bright, prime time, playoff game in a hostile environment. That place is going to be rocking. This is when you lean on people that have been there before, that have done this before. I think a big game from Matthew Stafford is coming. I think a big game from Aaron Donald on the defensive end is coming. And I think a big game from Cooper Kupp is coming. I think Stafford is going to lean on his old reliable person that has been through this atmosphere, through this environment, winning a Super Bowl before. I think Kupp has a big game. I like the Rams +3. It was 3.5 earlier this week. Give me the Rams +3 and give me the Rams to win the game. But Jared Goff is going to bring his A game tonight. I mean, what better story than to eliminate the Rams, right? And Stafford in Detroit, like after they gave up on you. But listen, this might be a game where Campbell gets greedy, makes a wrong decision, goes for a 4th down, doesn't convert it. McVay takes advantage, and maybe this is how this thing ends, man. Maybe a 1-possession game. I think the line is accurate, making it +3. Thankfully, I grabbed it at 3.5 with the hook. Those are very, very important. But give me the Rams. Give me the Rams to win this game. Like the Rams right now, and a hell of a season so far. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against Buffalo. This game got transferred to Monday, which is just ridiculous. This game should have been played today in 30 minutes from now, but because of the weather, I guess Buffalo, they have exceptions and they can get games postponed left and right. That's just how it is. Like this, I guess the NFL wants Buffalo to make it so far, time and time again. But listen, you guys know how I feel about the Bills, man. Absolutely rooting against them here. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers +10. I think that's a lot of points. You're going to get I'm not going to lay -10 for this Buffalo Bills team. Yeah, they won the division. Yeah, they beat our ass. What else is new? They always do that to the Dolphins. But at the end of the day, the alarming issues that I had with Buffalo still exist. They have not shown me even against the Dolphins. Dolphins should have won the game. They haven't shown me, that they're world beaters and they're going to come out here and smoke teams like they used to in the past. Like there are alarming issues out there in Buffalo. I have not seen any consistency out of them to go ahead and back them and lay 10 points here. I like the Steelers here +10 because of their physicality, because their ability to run the ball, and just because of the inconsistency of Buffalo. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers getting 10. I expect them to run the ball. Obviously, not having TJ Watt is huge. That freaking sucks. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Pittsburgh Steelers here. But I'm going to pick Buffalo to win the game. They just find ways to win. These fucking people. They just find a way to win, man. They might win it by 1 point, 2 points. Some weird thing always happens, and they just advance. And that's just how this story goes. Next week, who they play, I believe it might be KC. That's a topic for that time. And then the final game on this slate is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. This game is in Tampa Bay. Eagles have injuries, man. Injuries. They have been losing games left and right. I think I mentioned earlier on the stream that they lost about like 5 out of the last 6. Whatever it is, they've gone downhill and downhill fast. Plenty of people were high on the Eagles, including myself. But you got Jalen Hurts, who injured his finger. He's not 100%. You got A.J. Brown, who hurt himself last week. He has been ruled out. That's huge. So their best pass catcher and their most dominant player, A.J. Brown, is going to be missing in this one. And you're on the road. This game is probably going to be the weirdest game of the week. I mean, this is just such a weird matchup where I can't definitely say, oh, this is obvious right here, which sucks. The Tampa Bay Bucks are a team, the Baker Mayfield has done his thing a little bit. Mike Evans has been doing his thing. And how about Mike Evans, man? Like literally saying, yo, this is my last year as a Buck, and I'm going to just go for a contract because they didn't give me the extension. And he balled the hell out this year. So I expect Mike Evans to have a big game here, but at the same time, can't get himself hurt because he's looking for a bag, and he's going to get paid a big-ass bag. But I expect Mike Evans to show up here. They're at home. I like that spot for them. They were getting 3 points earlier. I think it was up as many as 4 or 5.5, if I'm not mistaken, before the A.J. Brown news. But money's coming in on the Bucks. However, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles here. This is another team just like Buffalo that you don't really see a lot of good play out of them, but they just find ways to win when it really matters. And they've shown me that, man. So I'm going to back the Eagles here. I expect them to get things going. I don't think it's going to be amazing. I expect them to get things going when A.J. Brown comes back. Better said. Sorry about that. but I don't expect this to be like all Philly. I think this is just going to be an ugly game. Remember, these two teams played on Monday night this year, and it was like 25-11. It's just a weird matchup. But give me the Eagles minus a 2.5, and give me the Eagles to win the game. I probably would have went Bucks 3.5, but you know, every time I ride the Bucks, man, the Bucks kind of disappoint me because what okay, I'm gonna tell you what talked me out of this was watching the Bucks last week. Now the Bucks pretty much you win the game, you're in the playoffs, right? You're going against a division opponent. You're in Carolina, arguably the worst team in the NFL. And the Bucks didn't go ahead and take that game and wash them off like I expected. Like they let the Panthers hang in there. It was ugly. I think the final was like 9-0. It was 6-0 for majority of the game. I don't even think they got a touchdown in there, if I'm not mistaken, unless it was garbage time. Because majority of the time that I watched that game, like the Bucks just let the Panthers, they didn't go ahead and take it. And that's alarming to me. So that scares me enough. Like you can't, you didn't go and punch Carolina in the mouth, and I'm supposed to back you on this one. Nah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I just didn't see enough. Now, if Baker and them they went ahead and they smacked Carolina, made a statement, I would probably lean Bucks here, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles here on this one. Don't feel too great about it, but I'm just gonna go. It's this has mainly to do with what I saw from the Bucks last week. I didn't like it, not enough to back them on that, and those are my predictions and picks against the spread for this week. Now I'm going to share my best bets for the week. Not many out there. No TDs in that game as well. Yeah, I was right. I see that comment right there. So I got a couple plays for you. I got 4 plays here and 1 parlay. I know there is a promo on FanDuel, and I'm using FanDuel. It's if you get plus 400 or more parlay, it's a no sweat. You get your money back. So I did throw that out there to have some fun with this playoff weekend. Especially, I need to win some money, man, after my freaking Dolphins disappointed me, man. But here's what I'm on for today. My first bet is Rams plus 3.5. That is my favorite bet of the week. I got this at minus 120 earlier in the week on FanDuel. I think this game has potential for the Rams to win it, as I talked about earlier. I like the 3.5 here. The line is at 3, so I did get value on that because how many times does that 0.5 come in handy? Sometimes the game ends at plus 3, you get your money back, but I secured myself having that plus 0.5 with the hook. So Rams plus 3.5 is my favorite bet of the week. That's at minus 120. You could probably shop around. You might be able to find it on some sports book, but I took it on FanDuel earlier in the week. It is now down to plus 3, though. Plus 3, I would still take it because worst case scenario, you get your money back. I even think the Rams could win this game. And honestly, I was also looking at Rams first half winner and to win the game. I also like that as well. So I am leaning that way if you guys want some perspective on that. But plus 3.5, Rams plus 3.5 is the official play. Got to get to 50, man. I'm at 48 wins, so I got to get this to 50. So that's what I'm rooting for. Second play is Eagles minus 2.5. Minus 120. I took that right before the show. I was eyeing that one. It was like 3.5. I didn't want to lay that. But once it went down to 2.5 and I noticed, I did jump on that. It's minus 120 right now. I just think that that's value there. You got an Eagles team that has not looked good by any means. Like, no doubt about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything there. You're missing A.J. Brown. That is a big deal. But the Eagles are supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Like, that's just what they're supposed to do. But they're at least supposed to go to the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Like, that's what you expected. That's what I expected in the beginning of the year. So I got to put my money where my mouth is. I got to back the Eagles here. You're laying 2.5, not 3. Worst case scenario, you squeak out a 3-point victory. So this is pretty much all, just staying true to what I've been about all season and just putting my money where my mouth is. So Eagles minus 2.5 is my second play. Second favorite play. Third play is Cooper Kupp to get a touchdown tonight on the Sunday night matchup. That's plus 120 on FanDuel. You're getting plus money for Cooper Kupp, one of the most reliable targets in the NFL. I know he's had a little bit of a down season coming off that injury. He's had a little bit of a slow start. He hasn't had the type of season that you expect from Cooper Kupp. But listen, man, it's playoff time. Playoff time means people that are experienced, people who have been here before. This is a Super Bowl champion. He's played in these environments before. Detroit's going to be rocking. I don't know if Nakua is ready for that. Nakua is a rookie. I think Cup is going to look his way. Listen, Nakua is a beast, man. He could still ball the hell out. But I think when it comes to getting the touchdown, I think Stafford is going to look more in Cup's way, his most, trustworthy target because of this, the time they've spent together. I think Cup has a touchdown today. I absolutely love that. So Cooper Cup plus 120 to get a touchdown tonight. Second, Mike Evans to get a touchdown. This is minus 105 on FanDuel at the moment. I expect that to probably go up, so you could probably grab that right now. Minus 105 is not a bad price for that. Mike Evans to score a touchdown. The Bucs are at home. Okay, they need Mike Evans if they think they have a chance to win this game. Mike Evans is going against a secondary that has gotten torched throughout the season in Philadelphia. Nobody can check Mike Evans, bro. He has had an unbelievable freaking season. He is in to get a bag. And I think that he's going to get the targets. The volume's going to be there. He's going to get the targets. They're going to try to get him the ball. You need Mike Evans to have a game. If you expect to win this game against Philly, Mike Evans is the reason why you're going to win this game. So I like the opportunity and the value you're getting there. The volume's going to be there. Like I said, Mike Evans also scored a touchdown against the same Philadelphia Eagles defense earlier this season when they did play. You're at home. Give me Mike Evans to score a touchdown. I also love CD Lamb to score a touchdown today, but the freaking price is ridiculous, man. I saw that at minus 145 this morning. I'm like, no way I'm going to take that. I checked before the stream to see if it gotten down a little bit, at least in the minus 130s. That thing got juiced up to minus 165 for an anytime touchdown for CD Lamb. That's just way too much. I can't do that. So I did not put that as an official bet. But if you're doing any mixture of a parlay, trying to get, a little spicy in there, I would throw CD Lamb in there, bro. He's been on an absolute tear, especially the last couple weeks. And he has literally scored a touchdown in his last 9 games. Like his last 9 games. He gets the targets. He's Dak's favorite target. He is a beast. He finished second in the league in receiving yards. He has shattered, any record that any Cowboy receiver has had. That's Irvin included. Des Bryant included. Like CD Lamb is him, bro. Like he is a freaking problem. 9 touchdowns in the last 9 games. Come on, man. CD Lamb to score. If you're doing any type of parlay thing, I would include that in there, man. But I can't lay it straight minus 165, but he's been on an absolute tear. The dude is a problem. So my final play is a parlay. I mentioned earlier, FanDuel has a promotion with no sweat. Same game parlay at plus 400. I got this exactly to plus 400. I mixed both of the games that are on today and came up with this one here for you guys. So this is the play. Let me just take this banner off the bottom so you can see. Dak Prescott to have 225 yards. CD Lamb to have 80 receiving yards. I think that's an absolute lock. I mean, he's scored 100 in his last 3 games, I believe. So things are trending in the right direction for him. CD Lamb to have 5 receptions as well. He had 6 receptions in his last 6 games, by the way, at least. So trimming that down from 6 to 5. He's had it in the last 6 games. Like I mentioned, the 80 yards should be good because he has had 100 receiving yards in his last 3 games. So he's obviously he's the main target out there. I expect him to get it. And next, Tony Pollard, just 25 rushing yards. That shouldn't be a problem as well. He's got that pretty much every single game this season. Hasn't had a great season, but you're only getting 25 yards against a team that has ranked number 28 in rushing yards allowed, by the way. So I like that. Aaron Jones, 40 yards. Listen, his last 3 games, he has been on a tear, having 100 yards in each. He has had 100 yards when he's played the Cowboys in the past. He has had great numbers against the Cowboys in the past, also scoring touchdowns against the Cowboys. So Aaron Jones, riding the hot hand, 40 yards rushing like that. Jordan Love, only 175 passing yards. He has had 200 passing yards in his last 11 games. You're trimming that down 25 for 175. That should be a lock. Dallas Cowboys, I think they're going to win this game, but you're getting extra protection here. Plus 17.5. There's no way the Packers are going to beat the Cowboys by 17, by more than 18. So by 18 or more. So I had to put that in there to make the odds at plus 400. So that's why, if anyone is asking. And then you combine that with this bottom slate here. Matthew Stafford, 225 yards. Going back to Detroit, he's going to be juiced the hell out. for this one. So I expect Stafford to have a big game. 225. He's, surpassed that number plenty of times this season. Shouldn't be a problem. Nakua, 50 yards receiving. This is the one I'm probably most scared about for the reason I said. Is the rookie ready for the bright lights? That remains to be seen, but I'm going to try it out for the sake of this parlay. 50 yards, Puka Nakua. St. Brown, 50 receiving yards. He's eclipsed that number time and time again throughout the entire season. He's been so consistent over there. I expect him to get that. And then Cooper Kupp, 40 receiving yards to round off this parlay. That's plus 400. It's no sweat. Make sure to opt in. Just wanted to throw that in for fun. And that is all. Hopefully I win you guys some money. Best of luck to everyone that is going to be betting out there. But yeah, man, just to repeat the plays again for you guys. So I got the Rams plus 3.5, like them even to win this game, like I mentioned earlier, but absolutely love the 3.5. Second play, Eagles minus 2.5 at minus 120. Third play, Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown to get a touchdown today, plus 120. Like I said, love this play. Final play here for the straights is Mike Evans anytime touchdown, minus 105. Mentioned that I love CeeDee Lamb to score today as well, but minus 165 is just too much juice. And then the parlay plus 400. Dak to get 225, CeeDee Lamb 80, CeeDee Lamb 5 receptions, Tony Pollard 25 yards, Aaron Jones 40 yards, Jordan Love 175, Cowboys plus 17.5. Bottom slate, combine it together. Stafford 225, Nakua 50, St. Brown 50, and Kupp 40. And those are my 5 plays for the day. Listen, man, it's been absolute joy having you guys chime in and tune in. Appreciate you guys as always. Good luck to those who have their teams playing today. Good luck to everyone. My boys are officially in Cancun. I am done. Maybe next year. We'll see how that goes. I'll be breaking down more of my thoughts about the Dolphins, though, on my stream later on this week. Hit up Jacoby. We might go Tuesday. We might go Wednesday. We might go Thursday. We'll see how that shakes out, but you're definitely going to expect it right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button to continue to support the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. George couldn't make it today, but best believe he'll be back next week. I wouldn't doubt it, man. This dude literally has been on an absolute tear, having 102 wins for the season. But yeah, man, hopefully, listen, last time George didn't pull up, I went 6-0. All right. So sometimes when I got to put the, carry the torch a bit, put the team on my back, it's had good results. So best of luck to people following the plays. Best of luck to people making bets out there. Gamble responsibly. Enjoy the NFL games. Enjoy the playoffs. Best of luck to your teams. And I will catch you guys during the week for my Dolphin stream, and then right here for round 2 of our NFL gambling show. Take care, everyone. Like I said, enjoy the games, and I will catch y'all next week.